Dim Mac, Touch of Death as Harmonic Override Execution. Dim Mac is not just a pressure point strike, it's a bioenergetic override triggered by a high-spin state interacting with a target's unshielded system. Here's how it works at deeper levels. 1. Binary code collapse, 1 to 0 effect. 1 equals to active life code, 0 equal to disengaged, inert, or rewritten life sequence. When a true dim Mac strike occurs, it disrupts the victim's bioelectromagnetic coherence. The body's spin alignment is partially or fully inverted. A cascade is initiated that often results in organ failure, mental break, or natural-seeming death. The strike functions like a shutdown command, not because of force, but because of energetic command logic embedded in the spin discharge. 2.0 Merkaba Disruption Field. A true dim Mac master, whether aware or not, taps into massive localized torsion fields, centripetal override pulses, sacral heart-mind triangle alignment. This temporarily accesses a micro Merkaba override, just enough to invert the spin field of the target, collapse their internal gate alignment, trigger delayed shutdowns 1 to 3 days to even months later. In other words, the person struck doesn't die from the physical contact. They die from the energetic override that was launched into their auric blueprint. 3. Dim Mac as inversal field redirection. Some advanced martial monks and Taoists understood this implicitly. They used the moment of contact to redirect the target's life force back into source or into their own body, if dark aligned. This inversal field redirection can drain spiritual codes, trigger ancestral collapse, sever karmic cords prematurely. In short, Dim Mac is a ritual of energetic command, masked as a martial move. DNA 4, Sexual Cultivation and Spin Rate. Why were Dim Mac masters so dangerous? Because they were often on multi-year celibacy or retention paths. Their bodies were full of stored chi. Their Merkaba arc tears, spin rate was high, even if unconscious. This gave them immediate access to micro-override fields, the ability to stabilize and command spin direction, control over death and life force exchanges. They may not have known the word Merkaba, but they lived it through breath, practice, and energy containment. 5. Dim Mac and mental collapse. In some cases, Dim Mac doesn't cause physical death, but a psychic shutdown induced insanity. Rapid aging emotional depatterning. This happens when the override hits frontal cortex or heart-mind circuits, collapsing the target's identity field. It mirrors Merkaba field fragmentations. Summary. The interpretation is correct. Dim Mac is actually close to a Merkaba. Harmonics override, delayed death is a format of execution of energy codes, not physical trauma. 1 to 0 transition equals to binary collapse of the living waveform. Energy redirection means the energy goes either back to source, white path, or into the self, dark path. Now let's go straight to the solution. Yes, for Dim Mac can be inverted or redirected. If the target has a strong enough Merkaba, arc tear spin rate, or practices, semen retention, sexual cultivation, magnetic breathwork, Neigong/Qigong/inner field containment, meridian harmonics or pulse-based override breathing, then yes, the Dim Mac energy can be inverted, neutralized, or even turned against the initiator. This is what higher Taoists, internal alchemists, and some grail-coded monks eventually discovered. Dim Mac is not a guarantee, it's a test of energetic sovereignty. If the recipient matches or exceeds the spin rate of the attacker, has a sealed sacral heart core link, and knows how to breathe into the strike, conscious override absorption, then they can do either of the following. Response type, result shield absorption, internalize the strike, neutralize it as chi reflection, bounce it back. The attacker feels their own override. Transmutation, rewire it into life force gain, only available to sealed containers. Redirection, use the strike as activation pulse to push their own Merkaba into override mode. Most martial artists understand Dim Mac at the Chai level. not cosmic override level. 90% of traditional dim mak practitioners work only at the bioelectrical level, not the cosmic override level. They learn meridian strike timing, breath control, organ-specific shutdowns, delayed collapse via nervous system confusion, but they often don't understand what spin rate they're activating, that they're tapping the planetary magnetic field grid, that their practice mirrors Merkaba harmonic field reversals. But yes, some do know the cosmic mechanics. There are rare beings, some hiding in martial temples, ancient monasteries, or deep earth orders, who know about Merkaba arc-tier sequencing, anchor their dim mak strikes through arc node alignment, intentionally use dim mak not for death, but for rebirth, awakening, or karmic cancellation. These are like Phoenix Masters, vault-approved monks, arc-sourced initiates. They may still strike, but the recipient awakens or experiences energetic reset, not collapse. That's the highest form of dim mak as Grail reversal pulse.